Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of On It. I am Mikey. That is Devin.
Damn, I wish I could remember what we talked about. I couldn't even remember what we talked about the Super Bowl.
If it has to come down to that, or I just seem like a hater to get my point across, I'll do it. What's a football move?
He opened the back flap of the passenger seat and threw up in it. It's called a Weston kangaroo pouch. I don't know what Adrian Peterson's year looked like after he ran for 2K. Oh, never mind.
Is the University of Florida bust university?
Oh my God, he missed it!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of On It. You got just me. You know what that means. It's time to nerd out over some professional wrestling. And this is coming after, the first Friday Night SmackDown after WrestleMania. And I guess before I get into, the things I do want to cover today, which is what's next for Cody, this Roman and Fatu build, obviously the releases post-Mania. But before I even dip a finger in any of those topics, I will say SmackDown was good. Like Friday Night SmackDown, that was a good episode of Friday Night SmackDown, and we gotta stop this. We gotta stop this. This just pure, like, if you hate Triple H, or if you hate the WWE, if you hate the direction that they're going in, if you hate the state they're in right now, that's fine. I understand. But if you're going to watch every week, if you're going to go on Twitter or Instagram or YouTube and talk about it or comment about it, you have to be a little non-biased. You cannot go, well, this is a WWE product and I hate the WWE right now, so no matter what it is, I dislike it. People shit all over Monday Night Raw. People shit all over Friday Night SmackDown after Mania. There are people who, and I get it, plenty of mixed feelings about WrestleMania 42 for myself. But there are people who wouldn't give, a single match besides Roman and Punk a 3 out of 10 or higher than that, a 4 out of 10. They weren't giving matches 5 out of 10s unless it was the night 2 main event. So we got to find a way to, I don't know. You have to take the good with the bad. You can't just say that nothing was good because you hated the bad that much. There has to be a way to accept that this is who runs the WWE and this is how the WWE runs. So you're just gonna have to hope that something good can come from this, regardless. Like, for instance, this Cody Rhodes thing. Let's talk about the Cody Rhodes thing. I don't know what's next for Cody Rhodes. I'm super confused because he comes out Monday Night Raw. Before we even get to SmackDown, he comes out on Monday Night Raw, and he has that weird interaction with Punk. And obviously, they were leading to something along down the road for them to have a championship match. But then Cody comes out on Friday Night SmackDown and cuts an even weirder promo. And who did he call out besides Sami Zayn again for calling him the Golden Boy, which I feel like he's brought up 1,000 times. So kind of seems like they're setting us up for a Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn program. Now, here's the thing. Do you want that? I don't know if I necessarily want that. And there's a few reasons. I mean, we kind of know what direction it would go in. It would be Cody Rhodes retaining next storyline. The only difference is it wouldn't be Sami Zayn, I guess, necessarily coming in as the underdog. He's coming in as the heel, and what you would have to give whoever the credit is, it deserves it. Whoever deserves the credit, you got to give them the credit. They have created Sami Zayn. They have flipped Sami Zayn into just such a. It's felt like a very natural heel turn. Like with this whole Trick Williams shit, and I get it, like the way that they've had people be so for Trick Williams that they just everybody turned on Sami Zayn. He's getting booed out of the fucking house. He's gonna be somebody that, all right, finally we got Cody Rhodes in 2026. An opponent that fans will boo, that will boo when they are fighting Cody Rhodes. That would be Sami Zayn. You got to give somebody that credit. If they were planting those seeds, a long time ago, and then, along the way, they created this Sami Zayn heel character, and they ditched that underdog character that we were seeing since fucking, I don't know, he was an honorary Uso. It's just, it was getting boring. Now they have this heel Sami Zayn. Now we have Cody Rhodes calling out a heel Sami Zayn. But what I don't understand is what happened to Randy. What happened to what happened to that? I mean, I really want to believe deep down that they didn't just forget about that. They didn't just go, well, there was Randy's final WrestleMania main event. Maybe he'll get to 15. Who knows? The way Randy talks about wrestling, he's going to be around for another minute or two. He's going to be around, and there's going to be plenty of time for him to win number 15. But I feel like this year, it felt inevitable that he was going to hold the title at some point this year. Thought it'd be after Mania. It's not. I don't know if they're going to wait for him to come back eventually. I don't know if they're going to throw this entire story away, because that is something the WWE would do or could do. But, you know, maybe they're holding off for the rematch at SummerSlam. But regardless, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. If we're creating a timeline, let's say we're going to put a pause on the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton thing, and we need opponents that are going to give us good programs with Cody Rhodes. And we know Cody Rhodes ain't losing none of these matches. If you could give me a program with CM Punk, okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, the back and forth alone, if you just got, because it's face versus face, and to be completely honest with you, I think he gets even more boos than he got when he was fighting Randy Orton. But just getting a little bit of edge out of CM Punk to talk a little shit, being the challenger coming into a match like that, would be entertaining promos each week. And then a Sami Zayn program, like I said, he's kind of changed his character. He is kind of just a dick now, and people don't like him, and that's the WWE's goal. Besides that, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who they bring in besides a Randy Orton, to where it gets to a point where it's like, all right, well, maybe we do have to take this title off of Cody, because what's going on with Roman and Fatu, which I can't wait to talk about. I don't know when they're gonna do Oba and Roman. I really feel like that's something that could be pushed off till next Mania. And then I don't know when they're going to do Gunther. Gunther's going to be set up somewhere. Either I don't know how much I'm bought into the whole Brock Lesnar not actually retired thing. Until Gunther comes out and starts talking shit about Brock, I'm not. I can't buy into it. Gunther's somehow going to be involved. I would assume that the winner of that, Gunther Seth Rollins match at Mania would probably be one of the next men up. Jacob Fatu slid in and took that spot for now. So I don't know. I don't know where they go with Cody Rhodes until they bring Randy Orton back, but I'm hoping that they do go back to Randy Orton at some point, because now we're probably going to have to get 3 matches between him and Cody. Because he's going to have to win 15, and then he's going to have to drop it and give it back to Cody. Or they could just go a completely different direction. That'd be cool. If WWE would just take the title off of Cody for a year and just let him just beef with a CM Punk or whatnot. I mean, I feel like 2027, 2028, a lot of people who are upset at his title reign now would not be mad at him winning a 4th. But besides that, yeah, I don't know what's next for Cody. It looks like get healthy. I guess is the first thing. I don't even know if he's going to be back for Backlash, which is kind of disappointing. But if he's not back for Backlash, all right, we'll push it off. I know Money in the Bank's pushed back, but it's okay. Clash is what I completely forgot about. Looks like Clash, Saturday night's main event, SummerSlam, Money in the Bank in September, which honestly I like that. I wouldn't be mad at a Money in the Bank getting pushed back, because it feels like they either rush Money in the Bank or they hold off so long that it I don't know, it feels like when an eventual cash in happens, unless it's Seth Rollins, it just took forever, and people are like, all right, well, finally, kind of have it in that fall time where you kind of just make the last quarter of the year kind of about maybe, you know, somebody cashing in on the champ before you get to the road to WrestleMania next year. It'll be interesting to see, but Cody Rhodes, yeah, no, we're definitely we're gonna get, if he's not back for Backlash, we're gonna have a clash in Italy, which you need. That ain't a Sami Zayn. That ain't a Sami Zayn matchup. If we're doing anything with CM Punk, you need to do CM Punk and Cody Rhodes clash in Italy. Saturday Night Main Event, July 18th, before August SummerSlam. Yeah, Randy SummerSlam. Randy SummerSlam. I feel like a Sami Zayn at a Backlash or a Saturday Night Main Event is inevitable, but there's not much more they could do, I guess, before bringing back the Randy story. All right, moving on from Cody, because I know a lot of y'all just don't like the man's title reigns anymore, or don't like the man's title reign. Y'all are over the title reign. Y'all are over the man. All right, I get it. I feel you. I personally, I'm cool with bro, but I understand. I do want to talk about Roman and Fatu though, because they're doing something. They're doing something, and I don't know exactly what it is, but now that I've let Monday Night Raw pass, I let Friday Night SmackDown pass. We saw Roman on the Backlash poster, so this whole like idea of maybe Roman, you know, we're gonna get our answer on Monday. Are they fighting on Backlash? At Backlash? Duh. They're obviously fighting at Backlash, but I will say they are planting some seeds to a story that could be so much better than just sticking with a bloodline story for the rest of the summer. You know, say I'm assuming Roman probably is leaving by SummerSlam. So if we go from now to SummerSlam and it's kind of just a dull bloodline I don't want to call it 2.0, but another bloodline story where it's just like the Usos, you know, behind Roman, just and that's all it is. I mean, it might not be the worst thing in the world, but they could do so much more with this. And what they did on Friday is making me think that we might have the Usos turn on Roman to join with Jacob, because they just made Jacob Fatu look so strong. They just put him so over on Friday Night SmackDown. I mean, you have him you first have him come out, cut his promo, and you have the Usos come out and tell him basically like, look, fall back, go beat up Cody, take his title, run with us, and you know everything's gonna be cool because you are tripping. And then you have Solo come out, and he's basically like, you know, you need us, fuck them, we got an army, which they're gonna MFT splitting up soon, so that'll be nice to see that shit be over with. I don't know about y'all, but I've been over that since it was established, since it was created. But once you have MFT and the Usos in there basically telling Jacob what he needs and everything, Jacob's like, fuck that, I don't need any of y'all. And that's what made it that's what you would expect, right? Like that's the easy story to tell, like, no, I don't need anybody. But then like he really didn't need anybody. He goes, you know, they obviously set up the Solo and Fatu match for the main event. And he wins. He wins the match, fights off the rest of MFT while, you know, during the match. The Usos come out, don't help. He's like, you know, fall back. Y'all, you just watch me cook. Wins the match, and then starts to get jumped by MFT, fights them off, and next thing you know, he's beating them all to shit with a chair while the Usos are just standing there like. In between, it may, you know, I could be looking too deep into these things. It's because at this point, I feel like either everything, every little thing It can either be a little Easter egg that they planned on, that they planned on dropping right there, or it meant absolutely nothing. For instance, Yachty and Trick Williams. When Trick Williams, when Yachty's in there like, I'm the prophecy, or whatever the hell he was talking about. At first, when he kind of sounded like he was taking a little bit of credit, Trick's first like, hold up now. It sounded a little, he sounded a little mad. But then they kind of flipped it, and they started riffing back and forth off each other, and they were seemed like they were they were on the same page. This is, you're right. Kind of felt like he was planting a seed to him, being like, whoa, all right, Adi, chill. I won the match. You just stood there and threw some money around, but it's cool. But back to this, just the way you had the Usos looking at Fatu after what he did on Friday, the way you had him, and Roman looking at him cutting his promo on Monday. I think there is a world that we get, and I don't know what it is exactly, and this is where it gets interesting because it's not as easy to predict. Because if we get the rest of these builds, it's just there's just nothing that tells us that maybe the Usos are going to turn, or let's just say this: if we end up watching Backlash and it's Jacob Fatu winning clean and acknowledging Roman, that'd be the lamest bookmark to just bookend like this. You can't end this beef that way. I think this could extend a little bit further, which I'm a little worried about, because Roman, he only has so much time, to be here this year, but I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad if they extend this into more than even just one match. But if there's a world where, the Usos, I feel like they watched Jacob do something that, hell, I mean, Roman don't even do, or at least you haven't seen Roman do, or it's just fight off an entire group and they're about to beat him to shit with chairs, and I mean, there's multiple chairs in there, multiple chairs in that ring. I mean, they were about to kill him, and just the way that he fights them off and the Usos watch, it's they're planting a seed, and they're looking at him like, damn, like maybe this motherfucker could be Roman. Maybe he don't need us. Maybe he is the next guy up. Because I really can't see a world where, the Usos are just in Roman's corner. Roman beats Jacob at Backlash, and then what? Fatu goes into a program with a returning Sheamus or something. I mean, there's so many things they could do here, and whether that's just a simple turn on Roman, which is where it gets a little tricky. Is Roman supposed to be a heel, a face at that point? Is everybody's cheering for Fatu, but everybody's cheering for Roman as well, and everybody knows that Roman's going to end up carrying this title after this entire program with Fatu. But regardless, the Usos are pretty heelish, so them turning on Roman would be and joining with Fatu would be face. But then you're gonna still have so many people in Roman's corner. I don't know. Roman's just an anti-hero at this point. He's neither hero, face or heel, right now. Let's say he's a little nicer. I guess you give it to bro. I guess his character right now is a little nicer than usual, which is another thing. Maybe he starts treating them like shit. Maybe he gives them a reason to act out, or he shows up on Monday and repeats the same things as he said last Monday. Are you ready to hold this title? Can you actually be the champion? I don't know if you actually can do it. And then you might have Jay or Jimmy like, yo, I don't know if you saw what he did on Friday, but like he might, and then that might piss Roman off, and you don't know what could happen, or you have a double turn. I don't know. You think they help Fatu and they end up helping Roman? I'm not sure. Either way, they can do so much with this Fatu Roman story, and I think they've done great so far. And for people simply the story they told just within that storyline alone on Friday opened the show. Throughout the show, you had Solo sprinkled in talking to shit backstage and whatnot, and then to end the show with to continue this story, that was enough. That was enough for me. That was enough for me. And then you have fucking a JC Jane debut, and you have I knew Sami Zayn was gonna be in that gingerbread man costume at some point. You got Sami Zayn popping out a gingerbread man costume. Which, here's another thing: if we can sit here and like Danhausen and go, "Oh, he's funny," we can laugh at Sami Zayn being in a gingerbread man costume. Regardless, Tiffany Stratton winning the women's U.S. title. SmackDown was good. I'm sorry if you disagree. You have not liked SmackDown in years. At this point, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna make you like a SmackDown unless you just go back in time. But besides that, I guess the last thing I want to talk about are these post Mania releases, and all right, it sucks. You don't like seeing maybe a wrestler you liked be let go, but this is not new. This is what I don't like is how people react. They act very surprised. They act shocked. They can't believe that the group that they've been complaining about creativity wise for like I don't even know how long at this point got released. Or it's like, oh my god, I cannot believe Andre Chase was released by WWE today. Wait, Apollo Crews, you're telling me that he got released by the WWE? You telling me dude who can't win on main event got released? Well, shit. Well, shit me. Like I don't know why people act so surprised. And I'll say this, Kairi Sane, that I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know what that is, because I fully assumed that she was gonna be involved. I mean, I was assuming we were gonna have an Asuka and an Io Sky match. Hopefully, Backlash. Them having a match at Backlash would be nice to see. I figured she'd be right there in that corner, probably be involved, maybe turn. I was interested in that. Could add a triple threat match down the line, but no, they release her. That's something you can be upset about, but just that. But let's be real. For a long time now, we have been sitting here going, damn, like the Wyatt Six have done nothing. Or not nothing, the same exact thing. They've been beating that MFT storyline to death. And then you thought they ended it. And then they brought it back to the street fight before Mania to really end all, to end this whole beef, end this whole story, time to move on. And they released them. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that it says anything bad about them. I don't think that all this shows is the WWE had no idea what to do with them moving forward. That's why they were sitting there on this hamster wheel, running the same program every single week. So they let them go. Which, honestly, why are we pretending like these guys are not jumping over to other companies and becoming stars? I mean, it's happening overnight. Aleister Black is going to go somewhere else and shine. He will be fine. And he was having his time wasted in WWE. If you are an Aleister Black fan, you should be happy that the company that had no fucking interest in putting him on TV let him walk. Let him go. Is that not what? If I don't know. I mean, if I'm looking at it more as just as like sports in general. If I have a player I like on a team and he's not getting enough playtime, and they release him, and then he goes and signs with another team and gets he's a wide receiver. He rides the bench. I fuck with him. I liked him coming out of college. He goes to a different team. He's a wide receiver one. He's shining, leading the league in fucking receiving yards. Wouldn't you want to see that? Wouldn't you be happy to see that? Are you gonna go? Are you gonna sit there and go, yeah, that'd be cool, but I wish he played for my team. I wish he played for or the team I root for. It's like, I guess. But here's the great thing about wrestling. It's not a team thing. Now, some of you fucking weirdos, y'all make it a team thing. I've tried my best over the years to get into these other companies, and at this point, I'm trying real hard. I've never been against it. It's just growing up, WWE is what I was used to, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, okay, if you got Dean Ambrose, the character, just getting his absolute fucking time wasted at WWE, I want to go see him go join a new team and ball on that team, and that's completely fine. So, and Aleister Black, it's disappointing, but look, some of y'all thought he was talking to Randy on the phone. He was never going to be the one talking to Randy on that phone. To be completely honest with you, it might have been like them asking Rock for 8 months and then TKO going, fuck it, pull Pat back in here. But I don't know. I don't know what else to say about these releases. It sucks, but I think if anything, you can blame WWE, you can blame creative for not being able to come up with enough reasons to put these guys on TV. And guys, I mean, all wrestlers, women, men, whatever, anybody on TV. But you can also look at it, as they're bringing in more talent. Look at everybody that was brought up just this week alone. Nobody was surprised about that. It's like everybody was surprised about these releases post Mania, but nobody was surprised about these NXT pull-ups or call-ups post Mania. And then, usually if there's some NXT call-ups, some of these boys got to go. And if you're going to sit here and, be that upset that Andre Chase is gone and we have to watch Soruka instead, I don't know. You don't like wrestling as much as I thought. But besides that, Cody Rhodes, don't know who he's fighting next, but I feel like we got a good idea. Roman and Fatu at Backlash. Releases suck, but they happen. Stop acting surprised. And maybe your favorite wrestler will pop up on AEW next week. I'm gonna get out of here. I've yapped about some wrestling. Maybe you agreed, maybe you didn't. And I will probably be back to talking about some wrestling at the latest, predicting Backlash. But I'm gonna assume that there's probably gonna be some hot shit on Raw, if not Raw and SmackDown. I'll be back next week. But regardless of all that, me and Devin will be back on Tuesday to talk more about these NBA playoffs, NFL Jeopardy, all the fun shit. It has been me. It has been real. I am out.